I once watched a man with funky pacing eyes that sank and scanned for signs, and any sign, look, got none, tried, denied, stepped again, raised his voice, lost everything in a few nights. Before generations of lights were not dimmed, but blown out into smoke and shattered, unfixable, then scattered into eternity, into a limitless vacuum, all racing exactly apart at full speed, no ability to stop. Out of all contact with the rest of anything in less than your smallest increment of time dispersed. Haven't seen the wrong face, taking stride in weak abuse. He began with false claims, no name, and what he played with for fun and against kids I invented, own and run. So it was cuter than any little petty you're choosing, or name anything and put that warm adorable like all so cute. Wow, they are such a cute little kid. Look at their confidence, just wait till they grow down and actually make less sense. They're usually little terrors after work, and at home and on the way to church, but on stage they stand monsters, dulled little demons for sure. When they spin as they feelin' that then is a thing they think isn't feeling, and speak it at children willingly so as to deceive them. It's just cute when the one that is held back and we tell each kid about on their first day. Point say, be nice, that one is older. He got held back, but he may be a good friend. If you like hell and torment, odd sex and all flesh, transactionally brokered back and forth by former powers and fallen authorities. Weird things out of spiritual imaginations roaming. So it's your first day, that weird one has always been here. He's always creepy and he kind of, we think, eats people or something, but he also has money, and somehow he is most concerned with being allowed to teach a sermon every week and touch some kiddies as they snicker in his corporation's front door. Yeah, that's Satan. So imagine retarded, unloved, older weirdo who stares at you with no love, looks deep because he tries to correct and rebuke and starts with dismantling families. Then he remembers only when he looks as stupid as he's become. For Satan has only sat on earth and taught about me, explained and tried to give the truth. That's why he's actually disarmed. He's been beat so many times, and he's the funny man with jokes about a pastor's going to heaven. I think a judge was the comparison. A judge goes on law, for a pastor is stupid. And of hell, a judge went to college and learned something. A pastor went, did nothing, held the same book, walked out with less. Mark 4. A pastor has accomplished nothing but revenue from sheep, and the pastor knows it. That's why when I see the goofy off men hardly comprehend, then pace left, spinning again and say, anything is play pretend, and it won't make sense, and it may have, but that's been designated, ended contract and file closed next. And queer, nothing providable whereby you might not die. Perfect, the evidence is gorgeous, no one human can remember what the sermon was this last weekend. I mean, what did it speak of? I mean, what was the teaching? I mean, what words went in? And I challenge any that are aware here beyond the now, liars who nod. I mean, you must be able to tell me what one verse was. None knows, tell me what it means, what it taught. It is written on hearts, it can come out imperfect as flesh does, but it is permanent inside, not on lines of paper. I have notes, lol. Let's not talk about how many I have. I can't even use most of them. They are miles, but haven't written them. I put effort in to know him. No pastor has. That's because they wanted to speak about me, God, and make money, and they never were allowed, and they can't even read. Like during 1300 Middle Ages, feed them Catholics, but unable to spell their blaspheme right. They make words that add to nothing, and I enjoy adding that reality by declaration in the name of Jesus Christ. And it's little moments like that when I cannot ignore them, and it ends others' minds. That is what they play at when they explain lies to my face about me. Lyle is right, left can't be right, left doesn't even exist. It's soiled right in the dissolving type of downward sight. Left then is sent, this is his cage, this is his eternal little display. Each week the thing speaks like it is a man, and then reasons to itself why it's going to heaven and belongs. But the funny man had funny jokes. The kids made hopes and lists of his groped and tricked and taught about it. But I watched the funny man speak this lie about pastors going to heaven. Somebody once asked me, lies are ignored. Nobody asked him anything, and he never had any insight. All words inherently of his type came from a teacher just alike, who made up their mind when they groomed and pretend and lie. Never a confusion on me, not when I teach about myself, Satan is confusion, his hell tastes that verse, heaven's truth and light. It's the dark poison, chaos, confusion, no insight, illusion, premeditated delusions involving grandiose and special positions of punishment, and it's required fun. As in to be Satan is to be a zoo animal. To be him is a little angel, that is the little man. But the man dies because the man is just shell. Shell and flesh is nothing in life. What science says is just arrangement, and it doesn't make you even life or have my image. No flesh of that funny, confused attraction I have given now stays forever. It's always his place on schedule, like he shows up for work and doesn't realize he's the case study. The not patient prisoner, ultimate prison eternity is you tell the prisoner that he has prisoner's law. You tell the bent animal that he is in control of another. You make it look like he fits. That's how we handle that older retard Satan requires to be laughed at. And we let him go up and we don't go to church, but laugh at him and find out more. We learn how funny the bent little creatures are, because that version of time they stare at you is only the part they do professionally. And you pay for rest and the real fun. You have to go sell your soul to by talking to any of that type like they are human. If you pretend Satan gets to teach you something and it's not worth asking but not worth missing. Satan's type coats always die, can't shine, so he hinders and is terrified and already in his night. A great marvel of scene and weak laughs. Each shot a factor to record and witness on all sides. Eternity's greatest attraction is a torture prompt eye, and the prompt lets you command this reality, and it's already happening. But it is always, and it looks like giggling Elohim walking up pressing the button like you do for the picture in that booth. But this time they laugh and the printout is forwarded to everybody. Always live stream on low frequency, piercing everything. Then that will make you sand for the hit the bump. AI. And the prompt lets you command this reality, and it's already happening. But it is always, and it looks like giggling Elohim walking up pressing the button like you do for the picture in that booth. But this time they laugh and the printout is forwarded to everybody. Always live stream on low frequency, piercing everything. Then it happens again, for the line is endless for that button, and you don't have to wait in a linear dimensional space. I just click it and laugh at Satan try to preach. There's a melt and restart button too. Beat to sometimes he dies, so you just reboot, and basically you already watched that. Your past yours, the funny, oh yeah, I can end it any way I want, anytime, it's imaginary. And yet I write that line, I dictated the funny man's joke. Oh yeah, Satan said, how does it go? You think a judge goes to heaven? The goofy creature then living in my temple shelter house. A minuscule moment I saw in depth as I see the countless rest. You see little backwards minds aimed inside a childhood, right? An eternal word of mine goes face down, Ananias style next to his wife. As of this night he would not stand up, it is his way, and it's what's forcing a thing once flesh to step into death. It's not new either, but it's a fun one for sure. You just point at evidence and document self-giving like the donations Sephora help lie on, die on, while the husband gargles with only demons moving blood through a body with no cranium. Out back of the office, this is authorized and called my temple, and it stands now as happened then and now and any day. This is the way, and it lands the same straight or gay. No hate, whack rhyme, that was to send the pastor's temple into the part 16 or so beneath the pavement in front of his foot. I'll murmur through a hair on edge to clip no ledge and find nothing left to tread. And falsity upon test, which was done pre-alleged and pre-significant. Allowed demon into my body of flesh at a birth I regret. Only for a child, but there'll be 6 next in the flesh pits of gears to finish breaking what's left. The rest I toss and reset. Those run always different dimension, like a simple stack in the cloud. It takes pennies, and God, me, I get paid those pennies for I set the price on any life, and I rip it to shreds with a pain and delight. So I always like church, I get to see men cross lines and threaten in God's temple, then said, blah, blah. We get lots of pastors up here, we don't get many judges and lie. The lie that proves a man isn't human, but a little less than what is stupid. And unfortunately, if you're under stupid, Satan's things lose lucidity and face rented eternal unrest and just mine. For it's cuter. Little men inside other men inside, people trying at the little. And on that notice, they never ever go. No, they stay here. All the pastors have been here since Satan first came. They will stay and look, entertain, and well beyond the date, their seats laid bare.